Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Victor Wembanyama shaved his head, Tone. Should we welcome him into the Bald Brotherhood?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. No way. Club rule number one, it's got to fall out.
Okay, no, that is not a rule because mine never fell out. Shaved, not fallen.
Okay, if you grew it back, would you have any hair on the top of your head now?
Doubtful.
No.
Doubtful.
You would not. No, you would not. Gotta fall out. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Clippers are hot. The Commanders release renderings of their new stadium, and Booger McFarland joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with reporting by ESPN's Adam Schefter that the Giants are working to finalize the hire of John Harbaugh as their new head coach. Harbaugh was fired last week by Baltimore after failing to make the playoffs, but he is a Super Bowl winner, and he has the 12th most coaching victories in the NFL. The Giants finished 4-13 this season. They've had a run of short-term, failed coaches since Tom Coughlin left in 2015. Wilbon, do you like this fit for both sides?
Tony, I like the fit. I'm not going to go as crazy as a lot of people on various networks I hear. You know, they should just start planning the parade, you know, out near MetLife. I like the fit. First of all, it represents something the Giants haven't had for a few years, maybe 10 plus, stability and hope. And John Harbaugh certainly brings those. And yes, there's a level of expertise that is not to be denied or made fun of. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go right. And they didn't go right for John Harbaugh lately in Baltimore, which is why he's not still in Baltimore anymore, where he had a quarterback who's better than the one that the Giants are going to trot out there right after Labor Day. And they only won 3 playoff games with him in 7 years. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson teamed with John Harbaugh. So I like the fit, Tony. I think Giants fans should be excited. You know more about that being a New Yorker, but let's pump the brakes a tiny bit.
Yeah, I feel the way you do that. Like, let's have a little bit of caution here. Let's not speed into the playoffs, as I was hearing this morning on a variety of shows. Yeah. That was an overly rosy outlook to me. Look, the Giants have been awful for about the last 10 years. Not as stinking as the Jets, because nobody has been, but the Giants have only won more than 6 games twice in 10 years. They went through, Ben McAdoo and Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge and Brian Daboll. Not one of them had been a successful head coach prior to getting that job with the Giants, and not one of them had a winning record there. The Giants had great success, obviously, with Bill Parcells and then with Tom Coughlin, but that's it in the last 40 years.
Wow.
Nobody else has had any success. So this is not a surefire ascendance.
No.
All right? You're not taking over a great franchise. You're not, people, managing the Yankees. It's not that. All right? Is it a good fit for the Giants? Great fit for the Giants. The guy won 193 games. It's a great fit for them. He's got a pedigree. Yeah. Is it a great fit for Harbaugh? I'm not sure about that. I'm assuming, since he wanted this job, that he likes Jackson Dart and thinks he'll be there for a while. There are other players. Malik Neighbors is out there. He's a good player. Maybe Scatterbo becomes a good player. Defensive line looks pretty good. But they were 4-13 this year, 3-14 last year, 6-11 the year before. That's 13-38.
Ways to go.
Okay, so don't put them in the playoffs just yet. Don't put them in the playoffs just yet.
There's some real work to be done.
Yeah,
let's move.
But it's an upgrade.
It is an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
We agreed down the line, Tone.
Yep.
Let's move down I-95, south, a couple hundred miles, where the Commanders have unveiled the first renderings of their new back-in-town, clear-roofed stadium, a roof, Tony. Pictures show the stadium built literally upon the foundations of the old RFK, where Washington played while winning 3 Super Bowls. The team hopes to complete construction of the venue by 2030. Tone, these renderings, you look at them, they make you feel what?
They make me feel, as I'm sure they make you feel, nostalgic for RFK.
Yeah.
RFK, it looks like RFK. There's a sweep like RFK. It's not going to be the same stadium. As you say, it's domed. A clear roof would be very, very nice, actually. I think the people who have designed it, designed the really beautiful stadium in Minnesota, designed SoFi. But yeah, it makes me nostalgic for RFK. And like everybody else in Washington, I hated that dump in Maryland that Jack Kent Cooke built. All right, RFK was vibrant. RFK was welcoming, and FedEx Field had raw sewage leaking out. RFK, it actually bounced. You and I were there when it actually bounced when the team was winning. And the other one, the FedEx Field, sits there sort of like an open sore. Look, it's very deliberate what is going on here. They're building it inside the District of Columbia. They're building it on the RFK site. This is a deliberate attempt to attach themselves to their great past. And their great past is pretty much long gone. And so they have to recreate it. And this stadium is a step towards that recreation of a once great franchise.
Let's keep in mind, RFK is a dump. RFK has long been a dump. It's just a charming dump, which we like, as opposed to FedEx Field, which was just a dump, which nobody liked after about 3 weeks. So let's get that straight. I looked at this, and in the columns that they use, I mean, it really looks like, wow. The columns, the saddle top, which is just like RFK. And if you're in Washington, D.C., and you stand in front of Abraham Lincoln and you look out away from the district, you know that they're in line at the Washington Monument and then the Capitol of the United States and then RFK. They're in perfect alignment. The angles are perfect. And so, it conjures up a certain warmth that hasn't been felt for that franchise until it was sold, till Dan Snyder got out of Dodge. But it's cool. I think we can agree. The roof thing, I hate roofs.
Yes.
I hate roofs on all these stadiums. Play outdoors, but, nobody's listening to me.
Looks good. It looks good. And the fact of the matter is that in the last 5, 6, 8 years, people from Washington were outnumbered by people from visiting teams because people in Washington hated the owner and hated the stadium. All right? Let's move to the NBA. While everyone was busy slamming the Clippers, including us, for their miserable 6-21 start, somehow the Clippers have awakened and might be good. Well, last night they beat the terrible Washington Wizards, but that was their 4th straight game in a row that they won. Their 11th of 13. They ran their record up to 17-23. The Clippers are now just one half game out of the play-in, and James Harden says, and I'm quoting here, "We can come all the way back," unquote. Wilbon, do you think they can come all the way back?
No, Tony. And I think look, when this season started and I looked at the personnel, I think we all thought the same thing, which was, wow, this team is old and wow, these guys have been great. Can they summon this again? And if they can, how sustainable is it? When Kawhi Leonard is out there, and he's been out there a little bit more lately than I think I thought he would, when he scores 30, they're winning the game. The Clippers are winning the game. Kawhi looks like he did in 2019 when he led a team to a championship in Canada. So I like what they've got, but we're talking about Harden and Kawhi essentially, and then a cast of people. San Antonio's too good. Denver's too good. Houston, when they play some home games, because they haven't, they're going to be really too good. And we know OKC's too good. So all the way back, Tony, I can't see them climbing ahead of any of those teams.
We are in agreement on that. I don't see them climbing ahead of Minnesota. I don't see them climbing ahead of the Lakers either. I mean, I see them finishing at best somewhere around 8th. So when Harden says we can come all the way back, because the other teams are actually better. It's funny. For some reason, when I think of the Clippers, I analogize them to the Philadelphia 76ers. I think because they have big name talent that's been there for a few years and big expectations and stuff like that. Philadelphia got off to a mediocre start. I think they were 10-9 at one point. Clippers obviously got off to a terrible start, and now they're working their way back up to where they should be. But last night I watched the Sixers a little bit get destroyed by Cleveland. Let me get the exact score here. 133-107.
Yeah.
And so what I'm reminded of is in the euphoria of a winning streak, then you get a bad loss to a pretty good team. And so you want to say, stop for a little while now.
Yeah.
Let's not get crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Tony, let's not get crazy, and particularly in the West, where a league, I know,
it's harder.
We're not used to young people dominating the NBA. It's always older guys, and so that's why I wanted to believe in the Clippers. That's the history of this league. But, man, you got a lot of great young players, particularly in the West, on those teams we mentioned.
It's good that you use the word young. I love James Harden. He's 36.
Yeah.
He's going to hold up after 82 games in the playoffs because he likes to play 82. He's old school, too. Let's take a break.
All right.
Happy trails to several teams at the buzzer last night. Let's start with Ole Miss beating number 21 Georgia in Athens on a putback in the lane at the end of overtime. Next, Kentucky beat LSU in a way that was very reminiscent of the legendary Christian Laettner shot that beat Kentucky in the 1992 East Regional Final. I was there. And then SMU took down Virginia Tech on a half-court heave as time expired. Also of note in college hoops last night, Texas handed 10th-ranked Vanderbilt its first loss of the season. And Stanford fans rushed the court after the Cardinal beat number 14 North Carolina in Palo Alto.
I'm trying to warm up to men's college basketball. I'll eventually get there. Trying my best.
By the way, I'm wrong. I was off by a decade. The Wilt team was in the mid-60s, not the mid-70s.
Right. 67.
But that was a great big finish. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Jonathan Kuminga reportedly demanding a trade from the Warriors. Does that make sense?
I don't care if he demands it or not. It's time for them to part company. It's just not working between the Dubs and Kuminga, and I don't understand all of it. The feds indicted 20 people, including 15 current or former players, in an alleged college basketball point-shaving scheme. Is it significant?
Of course it's significant, but there is none of the basketball power schools are in it. I don't think. The Sony Open begins the PGA Tour season today. You intrigued?
Real golf, not indoor, whatever that is, domed golf. Real golf, yes. The recently retired Clayton Kershaw will play for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Your reaction?
It's sweet. It's a valedictory. Last one, women's college hoops tonight. Number 4, Texas, and number 2, South Carolina. Who you got? I know who you got.
A mystery. Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. You know who I got.
It's always Dawn. I'm Dawn Staley all the time. We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. I'm going to tell Dawn you don't like me picking her team. And now, your Sports Center.
PTI.